What's up everyone, I am Toko Tyler, and today I'm going to be talking Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger, Episode 2. This episode was a little better for me in terms of pace, I think. It was definitely more easier to follow, less information kind of thing, because first episodes bombard you with a lot of information because it's the start of it, but this one, being the second episode, there was a lot more I could follow, a lot less important things, but we were given more story elements, which is nice, like where the Minosaurs come from, and also Ui, the girl, or Yui, I'll just say Yui, wasn't that bad this time. She wasn't that bad, which is what I had hoped would happen. Yui actually had a part to play in the plot with the Ryusoulgers. She actually helped, which is really, really nice to have, and I hope that happens a lot more. So anyway, let's get started with the episode. The show begins with Ko screaming Tiramigo's name all over the place because Ko can't find him. He's not in the temple anymore, the temple's gone, and he can't find Tiramigo. Asuna asks him who Tiramigo is, or what is a Tiramigo, and Ko tells her that he gave his Kishiryu a name, which is kind of cool and everything, and I'm guessing the blue and pink ones will be named as well if they mention it. If not, that's fine, because I know their names are Triken and Ankylos, something like that, so whatever, but Ko gave his Kishiryu a name, which is fun. Melto walks up to them and suggests that they go looking for Tiramigo around the woods, which makes sense because they can't exactly let a giant robot, T-Rex, be seen walking around and have someone find it. They can't really explain that, so they should find him as soon as possible. So they are searching in the woods, and they each recap what happened in the previous episode, episode 1. About the Druidon existing long ago with the past Ryusoulgers and the dinosaurs, and how they left into space, and now they have come back to conquer the planet like they tried to do in the first place. Melto then tells us that the Minosaurs are created from negative human emotions, which is pretty interesting. So that's how we will be getting our Monster of the Week, primarily for the Kishiryu to fight as well. And it also seems like the Druidon want to use the Minosaurs in their plans for Earth. So we then see Yui eavesdropping on their conversation, and then she shows them a picture, an old picture of the Kishiryu, and the Ryusoulgers are surprised to see this. The Ryusoulgers then go to Yui's home to meet her dad, but before we get to that part, we cut to a man jogging really fast and gets paralyzed by Kurion. Is it Kurion or Creon? The subtitles for me this time were a bit different, so I don't know. I'm just gonna say Kurion, just because that's how I saw it written in the first episode. Anyway, Kurion puts a few drops of her slime into this man's mouth and says a new Minosaur is about to be born. So it seems that Kurion is able to infect humans with her slime to make Minosaurs from their emotions, which is probably what was going on in the first episode when she captured Yui, when she paralyzed Yui in the forest in her trap, and she was ready to reach down and touch Yui with her slimy hand. So that's probably what was going to happen. But also, the longer that the Minosaur is connected to the human, the bigger the Minosaur gets as well, and we learn that later in the episode. So anyway, we then cut to Yui's house, where we meet her father. I think his name was Naohisa. Yeah, his name is Naohisa, Naohisa. I'll probably just call him Yui's dad. But anyway, right away, Melto is going through all the books and fossils. Melto is so excited about this stuff because he's more about knowledge and wisdom, because he is the Knight of Wisdom, I think. Yeah, so he's all about, knowledge and everything in books. He loves it all. It's really fun for him. Yui's dad has all these things because he is a paleontologist. He studies dinosaurs, basically. And he has been looking into the mysterious giant life forms, aka the Kishiryu. So this is the first time he ever hears the term, Dino Knights, and he likes that. He's been trying to find a name for them, but he has all these ancient drawings and fossils of Kishiryu, which is really interesting. Yui asks if the Ryusoulgers can stay with them for a while, And her dad seems very serious about everything. Seems like a very serious man, but he's actually really kind because this is the first time Yui has brought friends over, and as long as they're nice to her, they can stay. So Yui's dad is cool. I like him. We then learn how Yui's dad found out about the Kishiryu in the first place. There was this dig for fossils and everything, and his team stumbled upon the ruins of what was a temple. There was a Kishiryu in it, but it has left since. And I wonder if it was Black and Green's temple. We already got red, blue, and pinks, so I'm wondering if this was for Black and Green, because it happened, I believe, yeah, before the one in episode 1, so it had to be theirs, probably. Then afterwards, they're shown a map of where the temples and all the temples are basically located. We don't get to see the map, but he keeps pointing different spots, so I'm guessing there's other temples and everything that he's found. So that'll be very interesting, and we'll get to see future Kishiryu, so that'd be awesome. Yui and the Ryusoulgers go looking again for Tiramigo. Melto uses the audio soul, the one that gives you enhanced hearing, and he hears metal clanging in the distance, which brings them to a fencing competition. Ko thinks one of them could be the other Ryusoulgers, but it's not likely, and one of the fencers is the man who was attacked by Kuryan. Yui begins talking to him, and we find out that the man left his wife and daughter to become the best fencer in Japan, and his goal is to be number one, and that he can return to his family when he's achieved his goal, when he's a winner, when he's the best in Japan. And the conversation gets cut short after the new Minosaur attacks nearby. Our Ryusoulgers leave, but then the man falls to the ground because the energy is being sucked out of him by the Minosaur. The Minosaur in this episode looks like a unicorn, which kind of makes sense to me because the man is sort of a swordsman, and the horn on the unicorn is supposed to be like a blade, so it kind of made sense to me why that is. Anyway, we get that awesome transformation sequence again with the Ryusouls dancing around the Ryusoulgers. I love that it's the official way they transform. I just think it's so cool. I've loved it ever since I saw it in episode 1. They fight the Minosaur, who is still small because he hasn't gained more energy from his human counterpart. And this fight scene is really good because we see the Ryusoulgers' different fighting styles. It's so fun to see, and that they don't really get injured right away. They know what they're doing in a fight, which is really cool, and that's what they were trained for and everything. I love that they have different styles. Ko just goes jumping into the fight and everything, whereas Melto is more reserved and more. I don't know how to explain it. He's more careful about his moves. I really like it. So anyway, the Minosaur turns out to be too fast for them to fight, so Ko tries to use the highest soul, the Speed Soul, but pulls out the Stink Soul instead, and he uses it, and he stinks up the whole place. But before they can get to the monster, because the monster was affected as well, a Druidon army appears like chess pieces on a board. And I thought that was amazing, because I always thought they looked like chess pieces, especially the pattern on their shields, and now it's confirmed, and I love that, and Tank Joe looks like a giant castle, so he could be like a rook. That kind of makes sense to me. I don't know. I like that they're chess themed. At least for me, that's what it looks like. Kuryan explains to the Ryusoulgers that the Minosaur hasn't grown to full size yet, and it seems she can't really control him. And that's interesting to me because usually the monster does whatever the higher ups say once it's created or summoned or anything. So the Minosaur kind of struggling against her is something different, at least from what I've seen, you know. But then Tank Joe drops out of the sky to let the Minosaur escape from the Rangers, and I still call them Rangers from time to time, so that's just, when I say Rangers, I mean the Ryusoulgers and everything. Melto puts the facts together from everything they learned in the fight, and says the Druidon are able to make Minosaurs from humans now. So that brings up the question, how does he know about Minosaurs coming from human emotions if they weren't from humans before? So how were they created back in the old days, you know? Humans were around back then because the Ryusoulgers existed, and I'm confused about that. At least what he said, I'm confused about. Anyway, They realize that the Minosaurs kill the humans they are made from, and that the Druidon have returned to exterminate mankind. So they're creating Minosaurs to get rid of humans, and once the Minosaurs reach their full size, they will cause enough destruction to kill off a bunch of humans at once. So Ko and Yui, they find out the fencer was where the Minosaur came from, putting it together with the whole sword thing and the unicorn horn and the way it fought. So Ko and Yui decide to find the man's family before it's too late, but then the man's energy is being taken again, so Asuna and Melto follow the energy trail to where the Minosaur is. Back to Ko and Yui. Ko uses the Vision Soul to try and find the man's wife and daughter. He does, and they pretty much talk about what I said before. He wanted to become the coolest dad and be number one at what he loved doing, even though his family already think he's the best, no matter what he does. So that was really sweet, and we get to see them united again at the end, but until then, Melto and Asuna transform and alert Ko to the Minosaur attack. They need to find Tiramigo in order to fight it, because it's really big now, and that's when the man's daughter, the fencer's daughter, says that she's seen Tiramigo. Turns out Tiramigo has been sleeping at the local zoo. Tiramigo jumps up after Ko tells him about the Minosaur attack, and I love how Tiramigo keeps saying the word Tira like he's a Pokemon or something. I just thought that was really fun. He just keeps saying Tira, Tira. I love that. Asuna and Melto can't hold the Minosaur back for long, and just when it's about to destroy the building where the fencing champion is, Tiramigo jumps in to stop it. We actually get Tiramigo fighting the Minosaur and not just him turning into the mecha right away, which is really cool. But the Minosaur has gotten really strong and Tiramigo gets knocked out. Ko and the others come up with a plan to fight the Minosaur on their own using more of the Ryu souls. So we see the Stink Soul again and the Power Soul with Melto this time. And then we see Asuna use the Muki Muki Soul, or the Strength Soul, which is my favorite of the new set of Ryu Souls that are going to be coming out soon. I love the Muki Muki Soul, it's so cool looking. To ultimately damage the monster. It doesn't go over very well, it works for a little while, but then they get knocked back and they have to come up with a new strategy. So Ko is trying to think of what to do, and then Tiramigo wakes up and Ko realizes that they need to have their souls as one. So Ko throws a red Ryu soul from his belt, and it begins the transformation to Kishiryu. And it's such a cool process with the Ryu soul moving all the parts into place and jumping into the mech to form the head. It was amazing. I loved it. Once again, we get to see the mecha running around and jumping. I love it. I love how free he can move around. It's so cool. Ko uses the tail as a whip kind of weapon, and then he combines the other pieces from Kishiryu along with the T-Rex head to make a new arm-mounted weapon, just like on the toy. Using this weapon, he destroys the Minosaur with the Tira Dino Bite, and it was really cool. Not much of a finisher, I don't think, but it was a pretty cool moment for the mecha. I thought it was awesome. With the Minosaur destroyed and the Druidon watching nearby, they are not happy. They see the Ryusoulgers are going to be in their way for a while. And then Kurion sees someone in the distance right before we cut to the hospital with the man and his family reunited again. So it was a nice moment, and I was confused at why Kurion just looks into the distance and then we cut to a different scene, but we'll see what happens at the end here. So at the end, we see who Kurion was looking at, and it turns out that Yui was recording the whole Minosaur fight with Kishiryu, and then right after we find this out, Kurion appears behind her instantly. And then we cut to Green and Black, the Ryusoulgers, sparring in an open field where they see a mysterious man hiding his face. So a lot of that stuff at the end was really quick, and I want to know more about it. So, okay. So that is where we leave the episode, and I want to know what is about to happen to Yui, and what is going on with the other two Ryusoulgers, but now this next part will have a bit of spoilers for the next episode, so fair warning, if you don't want to know about the next episode, just end it here. Thank you for watching and everything. If you do want to hear this, I'll continue. So I don't think Yui is working with the Druidon because the next episode is titled The Cursed Gaze. So I think Kurion is going to infect Yui next as the new host of a Minosaur. And also, we finally are getting Green and Black in the next episode. So there are many, many exciting things for next week for sure. And I just can't wait. I'm so curious about Green and Black as characters. And I'm pretty sure I'm right about Kurion using Yui as the next host kind of thing. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of future videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.